everyone, welcome back to OCD Recovery's YouTube channel. I just realized as I was turning my camera on how burnt I am from my hike today. And it goes to show you, even though it wasn't that warm of a day, when the UV index is high, it does not matter, especially when you have paler skin like me. I get made fun of all the time. They're like, are you sure you're Italian? I'm like, yes, I'm Italian. Maybe I'm not, who knows? Maybe I'm more Irish than I thought. Who knows, who knows? I am Italian and Irish. So I have a video today I want to go over. I just made a post 13 minutes ago in the Facebook group, which we are coming up on 17,000 members. Congratulations to everyone who's in the Facebook group. Congratulations to everyone who maybe have come and gone and you've seen a lot of relief by applying the principles of rational thinking. And this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm excited to see some of the comments I'm going to get on this video. And I titled this, and it's just, we're going to go over every point, just 10 points. And I titled it, How Not to Recover from OCD. Okay, number one, don't read the books or only skim read. I understand that when you're suffering, reading the books can be very difficult, right? Because there's a couple aspects to it. Aspect number one is you're suffering with whatever the fear and symptoms are. So then you're distressing and then beating yourself down because you can't concentrate. Then you're trying to force concentration and force the present moment, which then makes OCD grip harder and you go down the cycle of trying to force concentration. Now, the reason why I put this as number one, because it's the most noticeable thing I see when I work with people in the webinars and the WhatsApp groups, one-on-one coaching. The people who read the books make the best results. I'm not even talking about long-lasting recovery. They just make the best results. Whether they reach a robust level of recovery or they get a much better but never reach it, none of that matters. The goal is to get better, right? If you never reach robust level recovery where you never have any symptoms ever again, that is possible. That is what OCD recovery is. But even if it never happens, you have some lingering symptoms, that's amazing. You're back at work, you're living your life. But if you don't read the books on the reading list, you will not recover. I've never met anyone. It's probably the only thing I'm so black and white on in that, just because the anecdotal evidence is just so clear. Look at everyone on the Instagram channel. Look at everyone on the Instagram page, the YouTube page, the Facebook, all the people who have come and gone and seen great relief. Not a little bit of relief and coasted. I mean, they did do that and then reached recovery. They read the books. Number two, they only move with exposures, thinking exposures are all we need. So exposures are amazing, which we all know that. They're more important than certain fears. Sensory motor OCD, they're not important at all because the core fear is being stuck forever. And you're going to breathe and salivate and swallow and blink and your heart's going to beat forever. So I don't see any purpose to try and force an exposure, usually because that forceful exposure is coming from not just creating distance, but I want to habituate and never notice again. Where contamination OCD, on the other hand, you'll definitely need exposure hierarchy. But if you do your exposure hierarchy with contamination OCD and you're still afraid of contaminating your family member and your family member dying and you being a terrible person, then you will need to break it down with acceptance. So exposures are important. Some fears don't need them. So exposures just aren't the gold standard anymore. They're just not. Oh my God, I'm so dehydrated. Okay, number three, only move with uncertainty, a key part, but not enough. So uncertainty is great. Paul David's book, At Last a Life, the 5th book on the reading list, and Claire Weeks' Self-Help for Your Nerves, book number 2, are great for creating distance, not so great for breaking down fears. The reason why Paul David's book is on the reading list, but the reason why it's not one, is because it has a lot of great information for GAD and panic disorder, but it's not the best for OCD. You can also have GAD in panic disorder. There's a high comorbidity between those, but the reason is because they're not addressing the core fear of being stuck forever, which is the fear of fear and conditional life acceptance. So uncertainty and exposure is great, but not all we need. We know that's not all we need because that's all people did for years and they never reached recovery. Number four, I'm going to combine number 4 and 5 together because they're the same thing. Leave little compulsive and reassured sneaking behaviors you don't think are a big deal. They're a big deal. They're a lot bigger deal. I'm going to put it in a very simple sense. Maybe someone was an alcoholic and they were drinking 25, 30 beers a day, or they were taking 20 shots of vodka a day, and they got down to 2 shots a day and they've been maintaining that. That's amazing. Be proud of yourself. That's great, but you're not sober. You're just not sober. It's not when we move away from reality of what things are, aka you not being sober, you thinking that you can leave compulsive and reassurance behaviors and recover from OCD, there are posts out there that say OCD recovery means you'll still have some compulsive behaviors. This is nonsense. It's nonsense. It's like what I just said. It's like, and put in any drug. I did this X drug and I did 15 grams a day, but I only do 3 grams a day now. That's amazing. That's a huge improvement. But you're not recovered from that drug. So you will not be able to leave compulsive and reassurance behaviors at the level that you think you can. And what I always say in the webinars is this: the smaller ones you leave usually turn into the biggest ones. And I think many people can relate to that. Number 6, blaming OCD on your family and other people. This is not something I did personally, but I definitely blamed a lot of stuff on my wife. Not resent isn't the right word. I put out a lot of my suffering on her. Like, you don't understand. You'll never understand. And then, she would get really angry with me and be like, do you want me to suffer? I remember she would say that. Is your goal for me to suffer? Do you want me to experience the suffering as well? But that's not what I wanted. I didn't want that. It was nice to have a support system, but I didn't need Erica to understand OCD. Going back and listen, the reality is this: obsessive compulsive disorder is genetic. And there's no other way around it. And the reason why it's genetic and not just a chance is because OCD is based off of irrational beliefs. And I'm not sure if you noticed this. Humans are really, really fucking irrational. And if it was the basis of no genetic code and it was just based off irrational beliefs, every single person on the planet, every single one, without one missing, would have chronic OCD. If it was just based off chance and irrational belief. But it's not. And we don't have to go into the past. We don't have to look into our family tree. We have OCD. That's the way it is. Unconditional life acceptance. Break down our fears and go from there. Number 7 was one I did a lot. When I was making this post, Erica's watching The Lincoln Lawyer. She watches new shows. I watch the same shows over and over again. Rob and I he was making fun of me because I've watched the Alpinist documentary about 20 times, 30, 40 times. So keep telling yourself you can't do it. And that one came from Erica. That was her contribution to this. I said, hey, what do you think? Because I would always tell myself I can't do it. And she would say, if that's what you think, then that's so. Erica got very good at catching when I was being reassured sneaky. So it's understandable when we fall into this, but the most important thing is, can you pull yourself back out and get back on track? Can you have those habits? Can you have those routines? If you have no habits, no routines, it's not the most, it's not the best thing, but it's not the end of the world. It will be very hard to recover from OCD and anxiety-based disorders without some sort of good habits and routines in your life. But it might be possible. I haven't met that person yet, but, we'll see. So you will have to change your mindset on your suffering. Number 8, jumping from medication to medication, not giving it time to work. So I'm going to read you a comment I just wrote, which I think is really, really funny. Someone said, how long should we be giving medication? I'm not sure if this one's working effectively. And I said, hey, look, I can't advise on medications, but this is usually what I see. Someone is prescribed medications. They go onto Dr. Google and read side effects. They come to an OCD group, not just ours, and search for reassurance on the side effects. They get scared, which is understandable, and then change their medication. Another compulsive cycle. So medications are great. They can help take the edge off. Rob and I, when we're coaching people, we always, in the webinars, we say, speak to your doctor. That can really help. But we do have to highlight they're not going to change your beliefs. So medications are great. But I've seen many people who have gotten on medication, gotten huge symptom relief. That's amazing, but they never worked on their fears. And sometimes, more than likely, that doesn't last. And then that's when that coasting begins. Number 9, living a very sedentary lifestyle, no exercise, no going outside, socializing, stuff like that. I'm not talking about body weight in general, fears of not having enough muscle or fear of being too skinny. I'm talking about you're just not engaging in life. You're not, maybe you have dogs, you stop walking your dogs like I did. I asked Erica recently, how long did I go without walking the dog? She said a year, which blows my mind because we walk our dogs 3 times a day. She told me yesterday that one time she left the house and got Thai food, then went shopping and came home, and I didn't even realize she was gone because I was playing video games that much, which is so sad. So yeah, video games, if you can balance them, great. In the beginning, probably cut them out. Get back outside, go to the gym 3 days a week, go swimming. I don't give a shit what you do. Just do something to more than likely get yourself back out there and, engage in life again. You don't have to do crazy things, but, it's good to get out there and just, get moving a little bit. And then number 10, which is the most important, is thinking you will recover in a short amount of time. OCD recovery takes work, takes persistence and dedication. It takes a robust level of unconditional self-life, other acceptance. It has many ups and downs and doubts and confusions, many different symptoms, the physical symptoms of anxiety, maybe groinal responses, POCD, false memory, real event, guilt and shame, all the symptoms that people don't like, depersonalization, derealization. Allowing those to all be there whilst we work on the fears is one of the most important things. While we're changing our lifestyle structures, while we're doing exposures when they're needed, while we're moving with uncertainty, whilst working on the fears. So thank you so much for watching this. Let me see if I can find it. Moment posted a picture of the new webinars coming up. I guarantee I got them. Okay. So if you are interested in coming to one of the webinars, they're at 8:30 p.m. UK time, usually on Tuesdays. We had one last week on Tuesday and Friday, which was a lot of fun. I would love to get to a point where we are doing 5 a week. I love doing them that much. So we have POCD, which is on Tuesday, sensory motor a week later, then work-related anxiety, which is a great one. That's something I'll be able to speak on very well, tying that into school as well. Existential OCD on the 23rd of August, and then August 30th, September 2nd, and September 6th. So it's Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday. We're doing OCD Recovery 1, 2, and 3 again. Those are so much fun. Hope to see you there. Please email phil@ocdrecovery.com for more questions about the webinars. And there's a lot of hope. I think this is a great video to do. And let me know other stuff you want to see. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.